بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Situations. For example, when you're talking to your family, friends, or colleagues that you know very well. Now let's look at the features of informal language. With informal language, we generally use short sentences that lack formal grammar and vocabulary. So you may see spelling mistakes or slang words. Contractions are shortened versions of words, and we usually place an apostrophe where the letter is missing. Contractions are used in informal language. For example, we would use the contraction I'd instead of I would. Idioms are expressions used in English. Idioms are generally used in informal language. For example, the idiom on point means good. The active voice is used with informal language. Remember, the active voice puts emphasis on the subject doing the action. For example, I have signed the documents. Phrasal verbs are phrases that have a verb and a preposition or adverb. Phrasal verbs have a different meaning to the individual words themselves. We can use phrasal verbs in informal language. For example, the phrasal verb look into. This means to investigate or to research something. Abbreviations are shortened versions of words. Abbreviations are used in informal language. For example, the abbreviation for as soon as possible is ASAP. Exclamation marks are also used in informal language. Imperatives are sentences that start with a verb and generally give a command or instruction. Imperatives can be used in informal language. For example, complete the form. When writing a letter or email, you should follow this format. First, we start with a greeting and an opening. This is usually an informal greeting. For example, dear plus the name, hello or hi. There are many other informal ways of greeting people. Remember, the person that you're writing to is probably someone that you know very well, so formal language isn't required. Some examples of openings include, I haven't seen you in ages, or thanks for the letter or email. The opening will usually depend on your reason for writing. Then we proceed to starting the letter and explaining the reason for writing. For example, how have you been? Let me tell you about, or I'm writing this letter or email about, and then you would give your reason. Following on from this, we can provide more information about the points that we're making. For example, great news, or unfortunately you didn't get the job. I've attached my form. Then we finish with a closing sentence. For example, hope to hear from you soon. Write back to me when you can. Or it can be the next steps that you want the person to take or a plan of action. Finally, we end off with an informal ending. For example, all the best. Speak to you soon. Now let's go through the layout of the letter. In the top right hand corner, we have the writer's address. So if you're writing the letter, then this is your address. Below that is the date. Below that, on the left side, is the recipient's name and address. So remember, recipient is the person that's receiving the letter. Then we begin the letter. So we start off with the greeting and then the opening. Then you begin to give your reasons for writing and provide information. It's important to use paragraphs. The paragraphs can be used to talk about each point. So the first paragraph can be used to talk about the first point, the second paragraph can be used to talk about the second point, etc. To finish off, we write a closing sentence. This can be a final thought or a summary of the points that you made. This is also where you would outline the next steps or any requests. For example, if you're planning to meet your friend or you have requested for them to do something. If there are no further steps to take, then you can just end by thanking them for reading the letter. Finally, we end off with an informal ending and then your name. So here is an example of an informal letter. As mentioned, in the right-hand corner is the sender's address, followed by the date. Then on the left is the recipient's address. To Bella, how are you? I haven't spoken to you in ages. I've been so busy lately with school and exams. I also went on holiday to Spain with my family. It was amazing. I wish you were there. I've been thinking, it's nearly the summer holiday, so we could meet up and go to the beach, and you could stay at my house for a couple of days too. What do you think? I'll have to look at the prices for train tickets, but I'm sure it won't be too expensive. I'll also be starting a job during the summer holiday. I can't wait. Anyway, I hope to speak to you soon. Make sure you reply to me ASAP. Speak to you soon.